Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I haven't filmed in quite a long time and I apologize for being so late on uploads, and I'm just kind of getting adjusted to college and along with that keeping up with my upload schedule. So please just be patient with me while I sort this out, and if I do miss an upload, trust me, I hate it. I do not like missing uploads. Anyways, today I wanted to sort of update you guys on my plant setups because I have definitely changed a lot, as you guys can see back here. I absolutely love every single one of my sort of setup stages and where my setup has been pretty much. And now I think I have definitely sort of found that appreciation a lot more. There is some new plants as well that I got. I think I have 3 plants that I haven't showed yet on this channel. So yeah, that is about it. Let's just get right into it because there's so much to update on. I'm just gonna show you guys like a general overview and then we will get into the nitty-gritty. This has sort of stayed the same. I haven't really touched anything. Well, actually, the last time that you guys saw things, I think it was like my summer setup, so I still kind of had plants over here, but that has since changed, so I guess this is a little bit different. But this is completely different, like a completely different setup to what it was before. Obviously not up here, that's like a classic way to have them, but this is definitely new to me, and I'm still gonna kind of adjust plants here and there for what is needed, but for now this is what it is, and you guys can even see one of the new plants. So I feel like I kind of want to start here since, you know, we ended here. Honestly, if I run over, like, I don't want to say if I run over some stuff, if I forget some things or if I don't mention anything, honestly, it's because I genuinely don't remember the last thing that you guys have seen. I honestly can't remember the last time I did an updates. So if I skip over some stuff, if things look a little bit different and I don't mention it, I apologize because I genuinely don't remember what is new and what is old, besides like what is new to me and not new to you guys. Yeah, anyways, I'm taking too long, so I'm gonna start down here. Yeah, this is my Ficus shiveriana, which hasn't really done much. It's honestly just kind of stayed the same, which I don't mind. And you guys, this plant is so thirsty, like surprisingly thirsty compared to what I have understood from Ficus. But yeah, still such a beautiful plant, and I can't wait to experience some new leaves on it. It is like so stunning, and I feel like it might be just as like exciting as a anthurium leaf because they start out really small. But yeah, also if you guys see like all of that or these, I do have some predatory mites out and about because I might have thrips. Also my beautiful dragon scale, which has definitely come back, you guys. This plant is doing amazing, and I'm honestly so happy that I was able to save it, you guys. Like, it is I feel like wild fern always puts me on with plants, like the El Choco, this one. There's like so many more, like the Splendid. I freaking love her Splendid. Anyways, yeah, and I think even now the Majestic, to be honest, like she just has amazing plants, and I like look up to her plants so much. But yeah, also down here, I was about to say Wizard of Oz, my white wizard, which I did try and move out of sphagnum. It was growing roots in sphagnum, and it had like 2 new adventitious roots. But again, sphagnum moss, I want to try and avoid it as much as I can. So this has since moved into here. And then my Hoya, which is also growing some new leaves here. I feel like I'm finally starting to sort of get a grasp of Hoyas. At first, here, I'm gonna move this dragon scale because it's kind of in the way. I would just let it dry out until the leaves were like really flimsy, which I mean you can do. It's not like, the only thing I'd say is do not let it get to a point where your leaves are like flat and wilty, I guess, or like wrinkly. That's when you're really going bad. But with this one, I've kind of learned to just leave some sort of moisture down here, and you guys can see all of those new roots. So I will literally just water this whenever it's really light, but I won't water it like, I won't drench it. I'll literally just sort of like try and keep it moist around the soil so that those roots have something to sort of reach for and grow to. See, right now they're really, really plump and really, really like thick. And yeah, especially with new leaves, I actually might try and water it today, because with new leaves it's going to be using up more of its water. What am I trying to say? I'm really happy with this Hoya and what I've learned from it. It's honestly one of my pride and joys. Like, I know it doesn't look like much, but I feel like I'm definitely gaining a lot from it. And then also in this cloche, which I know is kind of hard to see because of the glare here, but this is my friend's sensitive plant, and I've just been kind of rehabbing it. I do want to try and move it out, but I'm not sure when that'll really happen because right now isn't really the time to be acclimating things. And then in here I also have an Aslanii corm, which I don't know if you guys remember. I used to have an Aslanii that one of my friends gave me, which I think is actually growing a corm right there, because I had 2 dragon scale corms, but they're like on the other side of the Aslanii. Like, it wasn't there. Like, I didn't put the corm in that spot. I put it like literally towards the back of the pot. So I'm pretty sure that that's a corm from the Aslanii, which is interesting. Like, maybe corms are tied to higher humidity, so if you have higher humidity it'll grow corms faster. I don't know, that's just like a theory that I have. And then you guys, I don't know what is up with me. I am constantly forgetting my plants' names now, and it's alarming. What are you called? Purple passion plant. This is my purple passion plant. It is honestly such a fast grower. If I take this out, which I'm going to, so that I can show you guys the extent of this plant, it is so big, you guys. Like, from what it was before, if you've been on this channel since I got this plant, you know how small that thing was. Like, I was so scared because I thought I overpotted it too, and it just looked so stumpy and small, and now it's just like its own full-on plant. Like, it is such a fast grower, you guys. I love this plant so much, and it is so beautiful. It just adds like a different texture. My camera is not catching it, you guys. My camera is making it look darker. In person, you definitely see a lot more of that purple and not a lot of that like undertone of the darkness. It's a really great, I don't want to say filler plant because I don't see it as a filler plant, but it's a great in between of like an alocasia, which has like this leathery feel, and then also like my Jose Bueno. Like, it's just kind of a differentiation in texture. Is that even a word? No idea, but you kind of get what I'm saying, you know? It's just a very different texture, a very different leaf shape, and it's fuzzy. It just kind of adds interest in between all of these like more non-textured plants, I guess. Another plant is my Jose Bueno, which is actually dropping a leaf back there. You guys can like barely see it, but it's yellowing. Oh my god, it's yellowing in the back, and I'm trying not to look too deep into it, but this plant has never been one to like drop its leaves after giving a new one, so I don't know if something is wrong or like what is going on, you know. It does have roots, but it's in the moss pool, which is kind of like the worst case scenario if I'm being honest. But it's, you know, slowly throwing out a new leaf, which I'm pretty sure might be reverted in size just a little bit because of that shock and because of that change. And then over here I have a small micans, which I said before, you guys, I don't even know if these mites are like alive or not. I don't know, I kind of just sprinkled it everywhere. This micans was actually supposed to be a micans for my brother's girlfriend, which I don't know, I'm not sure if that's still gonna happen because I did already give her a like small pot of micans. And so I was offering her this one too, just so she could put them together and make it like already big and full. But we will see. I am like slowly starting to get attached to this micans, so I don't know. And then up here, my beautiful what is your name, Solanum Ulianum. I adore this plant so much, you guys. This plant is just such a dream to grow. It is a terrarium plant. I wouldn't say that mine really has like anything that like, it's not fussy is what I'm trying to say. It actually grows really, really fast and really amazingly. I think this actually might need water soon, but you guys can see all of those roots. It isn't something very, very chunky. because this plant does enjoy a little bit more moisture, you're gonna want it in something that's a lot more chunky so that it doesn't rot out the roots. But yeah, I just kind of placed it here because I just like, here, let me show you. Without it, like, it just looks so empty, you know? And so it's just kind of the perfect like shape. It's kind of like growing outwards. I adore this plant so much, and I think this lighting just makes it look so much deeper and darker. And yeah, I love this plant so much. If you guys do not have one, I definitely recommend you get one. I got this one from Houseplant Care, which he has some like amazing specimens. You guys, like, look at these freaking leaves. Those were grown in his care, obviously, versus like the tiny ones grown in my care. But yeah, I freaking love this plant so much. And lastly, this beautiful plant, which is new. This is actually just a crystallinum. It was between this one or another one. This one was just $10 more, but the other one had 2 in the pot and it was $10 less. And I was like going back and forth between 2 of them, and the other one was very like flat. Like, you guys can see this texture. You guys see that like pebbliness? The other one did not have that. And so I was just kind of like, oh, like, I don't know, like, $10 more for, you know, the jeans in this one. Do I really want to do that? And I ultimately decided I did. It only has 1 leaf because the other leaf, you guys, it was a freaking helicopter. It was like, I was not gonna deal with that. So yeah, I honestly love this leaf so much. I honestly truly love this leaf so much, and just like the chubbiness. And I do want to show you guys something because I noticed this in the car. Look at that. It has some freaking butt cheeks, you guys. Oh my god, I freaking love this plant so much. And I know it's such a basic like anthurium, it's just a crystallinum, but it is my third anthurium. And so I'm just so happy to have this. And yeah, I also love how dark it is. This light kind of washes it out just a little bit, but trust me, you guys, it's so deep in hue and it's almost like blue. It's crazy. And that brings me back to this. This is actually what that was attached to. That does have a bigger stem, so I just decided to chop it, and now I'm gonna try and propagate this one. And if I can get some more of this, if I can get the genes of this, I will be so happy. I also want to try and propagate it for a friend because I know she really wants to get into some anthurium as well. So that is just where this whole setup is at. I love this whole setup so much, you guys, and it is truly bringing me a whole lot of joy. Now up here, this plant is a, what is your name? I don't know why, I feel like this one hasn't really been opening up. I don't know if something's wrong, but this plant is so freaking huge, you guys. Like, I can't even, maybe I'll insert some b-roll so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I also have some Ulianum props here, my mistletoe cactus, or a what is this called? I believe this is a Capilliformis, but don't quote me on that because Houseplant Care also has some Capilliformis on his website, and it does not look like this. Like, it looks like it has like knuckles and like it has like joints, I guess. Like, in where the joints are, it's a little bit thicker. But yeah, anyways, this is Arabsalis, my pinguicula, which actually has been growing so amazingly, you guys. Like, it's insane. You guys can even see a root right there because it's actually starting to split, and you can see, can you see it? If it'll do its thing, it's literally starting to split into like 3, I think, which is really exciting. And then my El Choco, which is still rooting up again. This leaf is so beautiful, you guys. Like, it looks like a big El Choco leaf put in like miniature form. It is so adorable. The veining and everything of this is just so freaking beautiful. And it is rooting up slowly but surely. I am not sure what I want to move this to. I tried soil. I've already tried pond like twice, I think. I honestly just really don't know. I think I might just try and put it in something very chunky, and see how that goes, because I know that's what PLHC had them in. So yeah, we'll see. And then this is another new plant. It is a Cissus quadrangularis, and yeah, it is just like so cute. I know it's not much right now. Yeah, not much to really say about this one. I literally just got it. I'm still kind of learning its quirks and like how to know when to water it and things like that. Yeah, very much still a new plant to me. I do have cissus, but not in like a succulent form, you know, so it's just kind of like different experience, I guess. And then my orchid, which I still have not gotten to. I do want to pot this up into some, or not pot it up, but I do want to put it in some sphagnum just so it can root up a little bit better. But I've just kind of been procrastinating that, and I'm not sure why, to be honest. I don't know. This orchid is kind of just like, I'm kind of spent with this orchid, and that's not me saying that I'm going to give up on it, because I definitely love this orchid. I want to see it through, but right now it's just kind of daunting. I almost said taunting. It's kind of daunting. And then here is also a new plant. I will put the name up on the screen because I don't remember it at this moment, but it is such a beautiful plant. It was the last one at the like plant store that we were at, and it is just so gorgeous and dainty. I adore this plant so much. It has really, really similar roots to this Brazilian rain tree, so maybe it's used for bonsai in some way. But just, oh my god, I love this plant so much. So freaking much. And I put it in this pot literally yesterday, and I adore it so much. My boyfriend got me this pot from like a yard sale, and it is just so adorable. I freaking love it. And then in here, I have a whole bunch of propagations from my plant arrangement, which I just went through and like watered them. I changed the water, and there was some like rotting nodes and stuff, so I tossed those out. But yeah, a lot of them actually seem to be doing really, really well, which is kind of surprising, like seeing as we're kind of in a slow period, or like going into a slow period. Yeah, which just kind of surprised me, to be honest. And over here, there isn't much that I want to update on, if I'm being honest. A lot of these are just kind of very stagnant, not growing, which is obvious, I guess, because they're right next to my window. But this one has been growing like wild, you guys, and it is one of my favorite plants. Like, I love having it here. It just like makes everything look... Why is there an echo? This is actually irritating me. Okay. Yeah, that was weird. Anyways. It is just like the perfect plant for this area. It fills in this space so freaking well. Yeah, I love it. And this plant as a whole just has so much more sentimental value to me, I guess, because my boyfriend's mom gave me one, or gave me a like plant, or what? My boyfriend's mom gave me a piece of hers, and I like propagated it to be this full thing. I believe there's 3 cuttings in here, which with Maranta, I'm gonna be honest, you don't really need separate cuttings in a pot, because trust me, that thing will fill out very, very quickly. And yeah, it is actually growing really amazingly in this pot as well. So just overall I'm very happy with this plant. My Stephania is still holding up, and I actually chopped it a while back, and it's trying to push out new growth. I'm like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Like, I thought you were gonna die off, you know? Like, not die off, but I thought you were gonna kill off all these leaves, which I'm honestly like waiting for the moment that it does, because these leaves look so like sun bleached and just not, they look very, very chlorotic, which I'm just like not a fan of. And then this prop tower, you guys, I don't think I've ever showed you guys this like up close. It is doing so amazing. I actually have a Burl Marks Fantasy in there, which I am constantly watching, you guys. Like anytime I open this, I'm always looking for that plant, and I'm actually thinking about moving it out soon, but I'm just a little bit scared because of the sphagnum. I have my El Choco down here, and then I have a couple Splendids like throughout, and then I also have my Pelotaflorum like wet stick in here, which, you know, I'm just gonna leave this like this for now until next summer, or until next spring is when I'm gonna sort of start to think about moving those out and putting them into pots. I have thought about doing it now, but space wise I don't think it's a good idea, just because they are sort of in a terrarium-y environment. I'd have to sort of acclimate them and put them into, like what I did with my other micans that I gave to my brother's girlfriend. I put it in a cloche for a while and then just slowly, you know, started letting more air into that cloche. Now up here, which I have sort of shifted a lot up here, I used to have 2 plant shelves. I now only have 1 just because I don't feel like I really need the other one, and if I had another one it would probably go down here and it wouldn't really be getting a lot of light because I do have that light sort of pointing that way. Yeah, a lot to say about this area. My micans, which if you watched my last video you'd know I am, oh my god, I'm sorry you guys, I'm so sorry, you guys can't even see. You know, I've been struggling with this plant and they're actually rooting up, which I did not expect whatsoever. Like there's one right there. There's a couple like propagations that are literally just like growing new roots, which I completely did not expect, you guys. Like I honestly expected to just like flop with this. But it's very, very good news. Like I'm so happy that it's actually rooting up and actually doing something, because if I were to lose another micans, you guys, I think I'd definitely be distraught. Like I don't know what I would do if I were to lose another micans. But yeah, very, very good news. I'm very happy with that. I also have my mojito up here, which has definitely been giving me some beautiful leaves. And then my brother's luxurians crossed with bradykins, which I don't want to take out right now because it does have a new leaf on the way. You can like barely see it right there. That's the new leaf. And so I don't want to mess with that leaf too much. I am going to be giving it to him pretty soon because I've been just kind of watering it like a regular plant. Like it doesn't really need any like special treatment anymore. So yeah, I think it's definitely ready to be given to him. But you guys, I have slowly fallen in love with this plant, and I don't know, I think that I like it because it's temporary and I can kind of like enjoy the growth without like owning it or like it actually being mine. But I think that if it were to actually be mine, and like I would like, because I could obviously like cut a piece off of the chunk and like grow it from that, but I don't think that I entirely want that. I just kind of enjoy the situation right now because it is a temporary situation. What else? I have some money tree props, which I'm actually thinking about giving away or throwing out just because I don't know, honestly. I really don't know why I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I really don't know. They aren't really rooting up. They do have a lot of rooting hormone though. Like you guys can see that. Yeah, it's crazy. But we'll see where that goes. Maybe I'll like come up with like a very creative design for it or something, and it'll kind of make me want to keep it. And then my Politoflorum, which is my only Politoflorum at the moment. I do have some propagations, but those of course are taking their time. But yes, this Politoflorum did give me this brand new leaf, which is absolutely beautiful, you guys. Like there's so much about this leaf that I enjoy. You guys can see how it starts out and it doesn't like burst out and like go evenly out and then it goes down. It kind of just like, kind of like how the Viridifolium is, like it just like starts out slowly and then it'll get wider. But this leaf, you guys, like this beautiful freaking sinus, like I know it's a very minimal sinus, or lobes is what I'm talking about, I guess. They kind of burst out and come out like evenly, so it's not like how this one is. It's not like just like protruded out. I don't know how to explain it. I'll try and find a Viridifolium picture so that you guys can kind of see what I mean. Like it doesn't like burst out evenly and then it just goes down. It kind of just like slowly starts the leaf. But this leaf is just like so beautiful. I have always loved these like little lobes that sort of burst out evenly and then just like come straight down the leaf. And I was kind of expecting this leaf to be bigger, but I'm not complaining. I really am not complaining. This was the last leaf that it gave me. This is the new leaf. It's still a very, very big size jump, so I am like so happy with this leaf. Honestly, I could not ask for a better Politoflorum leaf in my opinion. And then again, this just like beautiful sheen. If you guys do not have a Politoflorum, get one, import it, buy it, whatever floats your boat. Importing for this plant was honestly one of the easiest things I've ever done. It was a first import. So if you're also thinking about like you know, if you're wanting to import something but haven't imported something at all, I think this would be a very, very good starter plant. Honestly, I feel like with Pallidiflorums, you could even just go cold turkey and like have it out in your room conditions and it should do okay. Do not quote me on that though. Please do not take that advice because I have never tried it. But I feel like from what I have experienced with acclimating this, it could do okay with just cold turkey. And I've honestly been thinking about importing another one, but I have like 3 propagations of this right now, so there's no like need for it. I just honestly, I think Pallidiflorum, Micans, what else, my Calathea Worcesterwixii, I think all of those I kind of want, or I wouldn't say my Calathea Worcesterwixii, I think I'd say my Marantas. I think with like my Pallidiflorum, my Micans, and my Marantas, I want like triplets. I want like, I don't even want duplicates anymore. I want like 3 or 4 of those like all around my space, just because I adore all of those plants and they're such easy growers. Honestly, like I have never had more of an easy time with this Anthurium, with my Micans, and with my Maranta. And I know Maranta are kind of controversial. People are very 50-50, like they get crispy, whatever. You guys will see in a moment. But yeah, overall, I adore this freaking Pallidiflorum, and I'm so happy to see it like bouncing back, and it actually needs water. I will definitely water it today. I'll probably do watering after this video actually. And again, with these Soltec, with these Scentsy bulbs, I am so happy with these Scentsy bulbs, you guys. Actually, when I was like making this space over here, there was like, oh my god, she is me right now. Lila. Just facing the wall. Yeah, me too. Okay, anyways, when I was like organizing this space, I actually felt like I had too much room and like too much space for plants, and that was because of these like Soltec lights. Like they just allow so much versatility, and I am like, they have not told me to even like mention them in this video. I am simply just like telling you guys, like I actually really truly do enjoy these lights. They have allowed me so much leeway in where I can place my plants. Like I could never put my plants here with a Marina. Like how would that even work? Where like I'd tape it to my ceiling, you know? But these clip-on lights are definitely, they've been a lifesaver is what I'm trying to say. Next up here, which I think is my favorite, one of my favorite plant areas. Honestly, you guys, I adore so much of my plant space now because of this big change. Even like this area, there's like nothing truly like special about it, but this what is the name for it? I believe it's called spiderwood, but don't quote me on that. But this this piece of driftwood that like kind of elevates the space and kind of like draws your eye upwards and around the whole plant area truly makes me freaking enjoy this space so much. Anyways, back to here, I have my beautiful Anthurium Wavy No ID by Houseplant Care from Houseplant Care, and it is flowering, which I'm so happy about. I don't know if it's gonna produce any viable pollen. Maybe I'll wait till the second one. If it does produce pollen, I am going to take it, save it, put it in my freezer, and try and maybe pollinate it with something. And it also has given me this beautiful leaf, which you guys can see that freaking thrip damage. Oh my god. Yeah, this is what made me want to get the sachets. I haven't seen any thrips. I've seen like one, but it was very long ago, and like right after I saw that, I like treated everything with like a spray of like dish soap and alcohol. Yeah, so this Wavy No ID is so, it holds a special place in my heart. And my Florida Beauty, which has given me its first all white leaf. It does have a new leaf on the way. Oh my god, which is gonna be difficult to decipher if it's gonna be all white or, you know, have some variegation in there, because of the sort of Polaroid way of this plant. I'm hoping it'll have some green in there, because if it does, then I wouldn't mind if it, you know, I wouldn't mind that like one all white leaf. But if it's another all white leaf, I'm gonna have to chop this, which is just a whole situation on its own. Yeah, overall I enjoy this plant. It's definitely slowed down throughout this whole season, which I have definitely noticed. Like immediately as the temperature dropped, this plant stopped being like so fast, and it's, oh my god, you guys, my stomach. Yeah, it has definitely slowed down in growth since the temperatures have dropped. Also, I am not a very like silvery kind of plant person, but this, honestly, I love it so much, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that it's like a little accent, like it's not the whole leaf, that truly, like, look at that. And also I think it's the like creaminess against this more blue hue that just makes it pop even more. It is so beautiful. And another one is my Calathea Worcestershire, which, you guys, this plant is kind of starting to stress me out. It did throw out a pup, which is this one right here. I'm not gonna lie, I don't enjoy how this is growing that much anymore. Oh my god, this needs water too. But you guys can see it's just kind of all over the place. I don't know, maybe I'll let it be for now. And if by next spring I'm still not enjoying how this is growing, I'll probably separate this pup and have 2 Calathea Worcestershire. Maybe not, we'll see. Now for in here, which is another one of my plant spaces that I am truly obsessed with. I'm not gonna like go into depth about like what is in here really, or maybe I am, I don't know. I actually might move this out. It has a new leaf. Oh my god, okay, I'm getting distracted. I have my maidenhair fern in the back, which, by the way, I just have a Brina light up here, just one. I kind of am thinking about like trying to buy another pack and putting 2 up here, because I feel like that would definitely, everything in here would benefit from more light, because a lot of these, like this Pleurophorum, that my like carnivorous plant situation, that definitely enjoyed a lot more light. Same with like my sugar vine, my Maranta for sure. A lot of these plants were enjoying a lot higher light. And so yeah, I guess starting back here, my maidenhair fern, I love this plant. I definitely recommend, if you are thinking about getting one, get it. It is honestly such an easy plant. It does have its little quirks, like these brown tips, which I am actually going to go in and probably cut off today when I'm watering, which is something that I was actually talking about with my friend. Anytime that there is a leaf like these right here, let me show you from over here, these right here that kind of have, or those are an even better example, anytime that leaves are sort of starting to go on their way out, I will just chop them off, at least on this plant. If it was like my Anthurium, I'd probably wait a little bit. If it was like my Frydek, I'd probably wait a little bit. It's literally just because of how fast this plant grows. Like, I will probably insert some b-roll of what this looks like from the back, because when I was putting it in here, you can just see all of the new fronds that are starting to grow in, which is like, honestly, it is such a pro of this plant. It grows so quickly, and I don't know if you guys can see that, if the camera will focus. Not on this. You guys see those little white dots on the back of those leaves? Those are spores, and that to me says that this plant is starting to mature a lot more, which again, just another pro of this plant. It makes me so happy. The daintiness, I know in this space it kind of gets covered up, which I might try and fix today. Again, I literally just moved all of this like 2 days ago, so I'm still kind of adjusting things here and there as I see fit. But yes, my maidenhair fern, love that plant. My whole I was about to say Frydek, my carnivorous plant, no drainage situation, I adore this thing so much. It's why I put it in here, because I just love everything about this, like my little frog, my little mushroom, this, you know, red accents on these, what are they called, on these like sundew areas, and then the beautiful white flowers of my utricularia in the back. And then also, if you guys can see, this sundew is actually flowering. It is right there, which I feel like is just going to add so much more to this. I might actually move this back to the way I had it, because before I had my Maranta in here and then I had this on the outside, just because I do want to see it a little bit more. I feel like right now it's kind of hidden and the Maranta is kind of just like overtaking it. But but again, just some things I need to work out there. Yeah, over here again I have my sugar vine, which is actually starting to root for me as well. Again, such great news. In here I also have a Jasenia pothos, which I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of as well. I don't know, I'm not really into pothos necessarily. Like, honestly, pothos are kind of just like, I kind of look away from them just a little bit, and I more prefer like the heartleaf philodendron, specifically the micans, because of how it sort of grows and its growth pattern, and also just the fact that the leaves face you compared to like pothos, which just kind of grow all over the place. Yeah, those are growing amazingly. I also have a Pelotophorum propagation. It's a little chonk piece in here, which I might move to my situation up there, just because I feel like this is not getting enough light whatsoever, and because of its growth pattern it might end up getting stuck or like hit the glass and then stop growing. So yeah, again, something I need to figure out today. And my fry deck, you guys, which, look at that. Look at that. Oh my god, this fry deck is just such a vigorous grower. If you are wanting to get into alocasias, this is the one that I recommend that you get. Such an easy grower. It bounces back like no other. And then my beautiful Gigas, which I definitely wanted to be the like whole star of the show in this. Anytime that I'm looking in here, I always look towards my Gigas. You guys, this leaf is gigantic, and it already has another one on the way. Gigas are just such a underrated plant. Literally, if you are wanting to get into Anthurium but are scared for how they might grow for you, get this. This is like if a Anthurium and a philodendron were to mix, but with the plus of like being such an easy plant. Not that Anthuriums are hard, but with this one, I find that it doesn't really mind being underwatered or like a tiny bit overwatered. Again, that is just in my experience. If you have this in like a very dense soil and you're just constantly putting water in there, it's not going to do great. But if you have it in something chunky and you're kind of iffy on whether it needs water or not, and you water it, it freaking, like, you guys, this is just such a variable plant. Like, it can go with underwatering and overwatering. Again, take that with a grain of salt, because I feel like overwatering is definitely, oh my god, you guys, my stomach. It is definitely a lot more detrimental to a plant than underwatering is, in my experience, because with underwatering I find that you will sort of still have some roots there, but with overwatering it completely takes out all of your roots, just because of how fast that rot happens. And yeah, anyways, besides the point, this plant is so easy, literally such a dream to grow. And there's actually 2 plants in here, which I'm kind of thinking about like propping this up a little bit more, just so, or maybe I'll even move it to the back and then have my Maranta be in the front, just because I do want these lower, because there's 2 propagations in here, I do want this lower plant to sort of get some more light. It also has a beautiful leaf. Again, just Gigas as a whole I adore, and I think I might even propagate this and like try and have like 2. I am gonna maybe unpot this. Do I want to do that? I don't know. I'm always scared to unpot things now, just because of my last video. If you watched it, you know what I mean. So maybe I'll wait on that and I'll just let it grow. It's almost reaching the top of the moss pole, you guys. Like this here, let me move this. Like it's almost there pretty much. So I might even extend it, or just like wait till it gets to the top and then chop it and take that top cut and repropagate it towards the bottom. I've spent a lot of time on this one, but I adore my Gigas. It is honestly one of my all-time favorite plants. In here I also put my Splendid, which is a sad excuse for a Splendid, I know, but I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. But yeah, not really much to say about this one. I just wish it would grow better. I am kind of regretting moving it to soil. I feel like I should have kept it in pond, and just put a moss pole, and maybe it would have grown a little bit better for me. But yeah, I love this plant, and it is actually growing a new root, so I have hope for this plant, is what I'm trying to say. my Hoya caudata here. Again, such a beautiful plant, and it's actually giving me a new leaf, which is so fuzzy, you guys. I love this plant so much. You guys can see the deepness of the leaves. Oh my god, please do not do that, you guys. Oh my god, that is a bad situation. That is a horrible situation. Okay, yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, I love this plant, and it is actually starting to like really grow for me, which is kind of surprising because this is normally the time where plants are slowing down, but this caudata is like picking it right back up. Like, look at this freaking crazy vine. Oh my god, I love this plant so much. Okay, so one quick thing. So this right now is currently opened. Like, I can easily put my hand in here. There's like a lot of airflow going in, whatever. I am thinking about maybe trying to cover it up with like my acetate, because I can easily like cut something to size and put it here. But the only reason that I am sort of against that is because I've always tried to sort of keep my plants in a situation where like I don't have to keep them in a very humid space. Like, I don't like being restricted to keeping a plant in a specific situation because of higher humidity and things like that. I just much prefer having my plants grow in whatever conditions I have and them being able to thrive in those conditions. I am sort of leaning more towards just leaving it open for now. And I think that if I ever like import, or if I ever, you know, decide to sort of want to put some more high humidity loving plants in here, I can sort of do that and have that option to close it. But what do you guys think I should do? Should I close it, keep it open? If anything, I was thinking of like creating like a sort of acetate cover and then just leaving like slits on the side so that there is still some very good airflow and it's not like too high humidity, like 90-ish% humidity. Like, it would never be to that extent. Versus like just creating a full-on cover and having like a couple holes here and there that allow some more airflow, which would be a lot higher humidity compared to if I just did the 2 slits. But yeah, for now I'm just leaving it open. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys have ever done something like this. It is a fish tank, by the way, that I've just like turned on its side, and I know it kind of looks a little bit weird, but I honestly really enjoy it, and it just kind of feels like a little window into the plant hobby. Like, it just feels like a little escape window. Like, I just don't know how to describe it, but I absolutely adore this, and I'm so happy with it. Yeah, let me know what you guys would do. I think that right now I'm probably just gonna leave it open until, or if I ever need, like if I'm ever importing something, or if something just isn't doing well, I will definitely just stick it in here. Or, you know, maybe I'm trying to propagate something that's pretty big, I'll just stick it in here and, you know, make that acetate cover. Okay, you guys, that is all for today's video. Honestly, I feel so happy with all of this. I feel like for a moment there, I was kind of getting into a funk with my plants, and now that I have sort of reorganized my space and, you know, just like made it my own and added my own creative spice to it, I definitely feel so much more invigorated with this hobby. And I think that it's something that we all feel and we all are sort of in and out of, but yeah, I love my setup. I am so happy with all of these plants, with everything in my collection, and I truly cannot wait to experience some more growth and just these plants growing into these setups. It really does make me really happy. But yeah, with all of that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I truly hope you enjoyed.